I wanted to, give back to somebody and, do something that was, worthwhile. So, so that's why I decided to look into ways of donating, and I looked at various ones, and like bone marrow, and I think I was too old for that or whatever. So then I talked to somebody at the hospital, it's Aurora St. Luke's in Milwaukee, and they were interested in me coming in to do some testing and blood tests for a kidney donor, and I just went from there. The hospital staff were very good about telling me, there's no 100% in any surgery, so there's always a risk, and that's why, if you have a family, you should certainly discuss it with them. For me, it was easier, but I wanted to, it was scary, but as you know, we only need one kidney, and if we're healthy, because they do lots of tests to make sure that you are healthy, they want to make sure they're not hurting you. So you have to really pass lots of hurdles in the testing program, and if there's any issue at all, you're turned down. So they think about you 100%, but then as you start passing all the tests, it becomes more about the other person then, that you, and I found out a few days before, and I think that's very important to do that, to find out, to have somebody in your head. They don't tell you personal information, but knowing it's a woman in Maryland, and she has a kid, and she's had problems finding a match, that's really all I needed. So to overcome that fear factor, they had to transport the kidney off on a plane to another state, and this chain, this national kidney chain thing is fantastic, because there were 4 people who were donating that day, and we were all kind of linked, and so there was 4 donors and 4 recipients, and so really not only were you helping one person, you're a direct recipient, but you're also helping other people because you're part of this chain. It's amazing what this little organ does. I mean, it's fantastic. It's just so basic. But the way it cleans out the body, we take it for granted. So, but it's obviously living donation is the more successful. Cadaver donation is still there, but it's not as successful as living donation. So, yeah, I would say to anyone, if they are at a time, if they know somebody, they can look at becoming somebody who can donate into a chain. But if they're just want to help somebody, and they're at that point in their lives where they are willing to take the leap, and they talk to their family, of course, that's very important. I think they can, it's one of the best things that I've ever done for my health, actually, was to become a donor. That's something that people might find strange, but I'm much healthier than I was before I did the donation, because as soon as you, from talking to the nurses and the doctors, as soon as you do the donation, you need to start living a healthy life, eating the right way, and it changes your whole lifestyle. So it's really made me much healthier, actually, by doing it. And also the person who received the kidney, I'm not really sure, why they needed it. There's many different reasons, but they too, are it's like a team that we, and I've talked to her and written to her, and vice versa. We're really trying to live a good, healthy lifestyle, like the two of us. Somebody's out there who's maybe younger than I am, who's been dealt a bad set of cards, and they need help. So for me, it was easy to overcome that fear a little bit. It's a constant thing, but just being able to say that you help somebody to survive. And I want to say the surgery was just, I mean, I was up and walking the next day, and the nurses were great, the doctors were great, and I was walking around with my little stand and my IV around the halls, and within a day of having it done, which is amazing. The surgery they do now is just amazing. It's laparoscopic, and it leaves very little scarring tissue. It's like a a long trail, and you go through certain doors, and you go through one door and the other door opens. So you're doing all these tests, and the hospital will pay for that. Of course, you don't have to pay for that. But as you're getting closer and closer and closer, they're beginning to look at you as a match for somebody. So, of course, if you feel that you can always opt out at any time. The day of the surgery, you can opt out, and you can get up and leave the hospital. Anyone can do that, and if people want to do that, that's up to them. But they really want to be sure, because they have you talk to many to many professionals, including counselors, to understand, why you're doing it. It's really hard to explain, why you want to help somebody to do this. It's not like a thing that people do a lot, unfortunately, and it's not a normal thing. There's many ways to help people, and this isn't for everybody. So if you decide that it's not for you, you can help people in other ways. The internet's fantastic for learning. I learned so much from going on the internet beforehand and learning about these other donors who had done it. And I said, if they can do it, they don't look any more special than me. They're just normal people, and yet they did something magnificent. So if they can at least have a go of it, I could have a go of it. It was a great, probably the best thing I've ever done. So I'm so glad that I did it.